Croatian tourism has never reached the levels that could measure up to the results achieved by many developed island nations, both in Europe and around the world. It is evident that the infrastructural, and especially road connections of islands in the mainland, is at the core of that problem. Zadar County recognises all the advantages that the establishment of such connections would bring, and in accordance with that, has reached a decision on the construction of the first immersed tunnel in Croatia. In analysing the effects of this investment project, we come to the conclusion that it should be viewed economically from three strategic levels. 1. Local. The revival and development of Dalmatian islands. 2. National. The development of the Croatian economy as a whole. 3. International. The strategic definition of Croatia and the Croatian economy in terms of the EU and beyond. In the absence of a clear strategy and economic development of Croatia, this project can be positioned as the national backbone for further development of the Croatian economy as a whole. A connection of Dalmatian islands would create the conditions to strategically position Croatia within the EU as the most desirable European destination for tourism and residency, which is due to the climatic and other reasons often called the California of Europe. From everything mentioned, it can be concluded that the construction of immersed tunnels would have a domino effect, and this would lead to economic and other developments, not only on the local and regional level, but on the national level as well. Primarily, this project indicates a change of focus of the construction economy towards tourism as the most important economic sector in Dalmatia. This change will have a direct influence on an increased number of tourists, prolongation of the tourist season, an increase of the number of guests who will stay longer in Dalmatia, a return of inhabitants to the island, which will then have an influence on the increasing demand for food and other basic necessities. This project is also directly linked to other projects connected to agriculture and the production of food, especially homegrown organic food. This project would also have a positive impact on investments in airports, ports, infrastructure, energy, waste disposal, and the attraction of capital and development of economic and tourist zones in all Croatian coastal counties in which, thanks to poor traffic connections, almost all planned tourist zones have not been realised. Feasibility analysis. With an aim to determine financial and other effects of investment into this project, 2 investment studies have been undertaken. Conservative assumptions were made that after the construction of an immersed tunnel, 70% of all 18 planned development zones on the islands of Ugljana and Podmorski would be economically viable. The financial analysis showed that only from the VAT charged, the invested funds could be returned within 7 years. The same analysis was made for 72 zones on the islands of Brač, Hvar and Šolta. The analysis also showed that only from the VAT, the investment could be returned within 10 years. It is also important to emphasize that, in comparison with the construction of classic bridges above the sea, immersed tunnels have several important advantages. The flow of traffic in immersed tunnels does not depend on weather or any other such conditions. This means that the traffic can flow unimpeded 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. The construction costs also represent an important comparative advantage, because the price of construction of 1 metre of immersed tunnel is approximately €45,000, which is at least 2 times cheaper than the construction of bridges. The total time of construction is also much more favourable, because it is possible to simultaneously work on the construction and laying of several tunnel elements. It is anticipated to lay other infrastructural components like water, electricity and gas in the tunnel, which would certainly make our islands one of the most desirable living areas in Europe. As the facilities for the production of tunnel elements would be in our shipyards, this project would revive our insolvent shipyards and create more jobs. From all the stated points, it is easy to see that the construction of immersed tunnels is more than justifiable, especially since there are no financial or other types of risks, because the idea is not based on theoreticals. It has already been proven successful with many projects in Europe and around the world. This project would make significantly better use of the geostrategic position of Croatia at the heart of Europe, as well as of Croatia's natural competitive advantages.